What's the difference between Indigenous smudging and smudging because it's trendy? In recent years, smudging has gained interest from non-Indigenous people and celebrities in the media, making smudging become more popular. Watch this video to find out what the 5 key differences are between trendy smudging and Indigenous ceremonial smudging so that you can understand the difference between the two to decide which one that you want to partake in. I'm Mallory Graham, Anishinaabe from tribaltradeco.com. Be sure to subscribe and hit the bell for new videos every week on smudging, the Indigenous culture, and Native teachings. What is the difference between Indigenous cultural smudging and trendy smudging? Recently, smudging has hit the mainstream. More and more people have taken an interest in it. Smudging has been featured in reality shows like The Real Housewives, and big retailers have even started selling their own versions of smudge kits. During this moment being had by smudging in pop culture, some Indigenous activists have raised concerns regarding whether trendy smudging is respectful. In this video, we answer your questions about the 5 key differences between trendy smudging and native smudging. What is the difference between trendy smudging and Indigenous ceremonial smudging? The first difference between trendy smudging and Indigenous ceremonial smudging is its purpose. Smudging of any kind simply refers to the practice of burning medicinal herbs or plants for the purpose of producing a cleansing smoke. Different cultures have traditionally used a variety of different plants for their smudging ceremonies. And for the Indigenous people of North America, smudging is performed using the sacred medicines like sage, cedar, tobacco, and sweetgrass. The traditional smudging ceremony is performed in both organized rituals and for daily cleansing at your home. Smudging can help to clear a physical space of its negative energy. It can connect us with the Creator and the spirits, and even to help us feel more positively about ourselves and our accomplishments. The second difference between Indigenous smudging and trendy smudging is the smudging protocol. Indigenous smudging typically follows a specific protocol. The smudging protocol is generally different depending on which nation you're from and also who taught you your teachings on smudging. Smudging, because it's trendy, typically doesn't have a protocol involved. So how is it then that you smudge respectfully? If you're a non-Indigenous or Indigenous and you've recently discovered the cleansing power of smudging, then that's amazing. You have stumbled upon a traditional use of medicines and herbs that have been practiced by Indigenous people around the world for centuries. If you're wondering if it's okay for you to purchase and use sacred medicines for yourself for smudging, the short answer is yes. But there are some things that you should be aware of to ensure that you're doing so respectfully. If you want to learn how to smudge, then watch this video right here. Have you ever smudged before? Please share with us in the comments below. Now, the third difference between smudging in the Indigenous culture and mainstream smudging is what those titles even mean. Indigenous smudging, for cultural and spiritual purposes for people in Canada and the United States, is a lifestyle. It is a way of life that is deeply ingrained in the worldview for many nations across Turtle Island. When you attend an Indigenous gathering of any kind, a smudge typically takes place to cleanse the space and also to cleanse the spiritual energy of everyone participating in the gathering. Indigenous smudging also takes place as a daily ritual for many of us, as a way to connect with ourselves, with the Creator, to stay grounded, and just to feel good. Mainstream smudging, on the other hand, is a trend. And what does that even mean? There's nothing wrong with smudging because it's trendy, especially if it makes you feel good, happier, and boosts your well-being. The major difference here, though, is the trend versus lifestyle. Trends come and go, and usually when you're tired of it, you move on to something else. Now, the fourth difference between Indigenous smudging and smudging because it's trendy is the medicines that you use for your smudge. Trendy smudging typically use a sage or smudge stick exclusively. respectively, and sometimes overlaps smudging with incense as a similar practice. Indigenous ceremonial smudging, on the other hand, generally uses smudge bowls, or bowls filled with a mixture of sacred medicines such as sage, cedar, tobacco, and sweetgrass. White sage is the most common sacred medicine associated with smudging, and the sale of white sage has recently become very popular as a result of smudging hitting mainstream. The only problem here is over demand of white sage that is indigenous. Unfortunately, it is susceptible to drought and overharvesting, which means supplies of it can be limited. Now, to protect this sacred medicine and ensure that it is acquired properly, harvesting white sage should be done by indigenous people, and its sale should be limited to indigenous businesses only. So ideally, if you want to smudge with sage, you should purchase it from an indigenous seller. Similarly, sweetgrass should be bought from indigenous businesses, as they can ensure that it has been harvested respectfully and sustainably. Now, the fifth difference between indigenous smudging and trendy smudging is what you say during your smudge. Now, here we are talking about smudging with intention. Whether you've been smudging your entire life or you've just recently discovered this powerful practice of smudging, the most important thing to do when you're smudging is to do so with intention. Smudging with intention simply means to smudge for a reason and with an end goal in mind. People from every background can benefit from the healing and centering smoke from the sacred medicines. As long as you perform your smudging ritual respectfully and in pursuit of positive results, then you will have a good experience. So now you know the 5 major differences between indigenous smudging and trendy smudging, so you can decide which one that you want to practice. If you want to learn more about the various sacred medicines and the smudging process, then download our free guide at the link in the description below. If you like this video, please let us know by hitting the like button. Tell us what you liked about it in the comments. Be sure to subscribe and share it with your friends. Thanks so much for watching, guys. We will see you next time.